Hello, everyone in the room. Wow, gosh, you guys are the next generation's nations here today, and that is pretty exciting, isn't it? There'll be photos that are taken today that you'll be laughing about in a few years' time when your team members are digging out pictures of their MVP. So, my name is Danny Wells, and I am an independent consultant with Arbonne International and a regional vice president, growing every day a step closer to 30 wide ENVP. I have two daughters who are 6 and 4 and are my total why for growing this business, to inspire them to give back and be the best versions of them as they grow up. I have a wonderful husband, Ian, who, thanks to my Arbonne online business, I was able to help him leave his job being employed and pursue his own dream with not a financial worry in the world. I have a growing team of brilliant new friends, and we are all on a mission to raise awareness of the Arbonne opportunity to as many people as physically possible. So that is a little bit about me. So what are we going to talk about today? When I messaged Vicky Beckett asking for a slot to speak to you all today, I emphasised that although this isn't my comfort zone, not at all, but that as I was number 5 in the world for our 2016 GTC Parade of Champions, for helping the most people you've personally sponsored become district managers, and for earning number 1 in the UK for the same award, I said to Vicky, I have so much to give to everyone at the DM training day to help them be in these awards for 2017, and for you all to help your new consultants regularly every year be in these award categories. So she said, okay, and here I am today to share my secret. So what is the secret? What is this big mystery? Why am I promoting so many people to district managers? Well, anyone who knows me knows I'm not one to keep anything to myself. So I'm going to totally share with you all. But first of all, I just want to say, without a shadow of a doubt, there are skills that we need to give our new consultants that help them move from having an online shop that turns over 0 QV a month to turning over 2,500 QV plus a month, every single month. And those skills are things like how to meet new people, how to invite people for an appointment, how to do a one-to-one and a group event, how to follow up, and how to know the products to provide solutions for people's problems. They're all really important. But if we all practice these skills inside out and we teach these skills to our new business partners, why are we not finding that more people we personally sponsor are becoming district managers and beyond? There's a missing piece to the puzzle, and a very important one at that. And that puzzle piece is exactly what has helped me help so many people promote. And that's what I want to delve into today with you all. Personal growth. Okay, right. When we sponsor a new, keen, eager, wanting to change their current circumstances consultant, they come into the business with a self-image of themselves. And that self-image is the reason they are where they are at the moment in time. Now, we know from our uplines to suggest personal growth. Do personal development, they said. Go read some books. Listen to some audios, they tell me. So can I see a show of hands? Who here today has sponsored a new consultant and suggested that they do personal growth? Okay, yeah, just what I thought. Okay, so let me ask you this. Show of hands, who here today has had resistance from someone not wanting to do any personal growth? Okay, just what I thought. So for every 10 people that I personally sponsor, I find that 1 is totally running to the top, as in if I drop dead tomorrow, they would carry on building their online business to nation QV turnover and beyond. I'd say 2 to 3 out of the 10 are willing to be coached and helped by me, and the rest become consumers or event attenders who don't grow their business, or they just disappear. So it's definitely a numbers game. But for the few willing to be coached, this training is really going to help you help those ones. You can't coach everyone you sponsor. So do remember, it is a numbers game. Even now, half the people I sponsor are not willing to do what this is about and feel it's easier to accept their life with the problems they have than to work on improving them. And that's okay. We aren't here to judge, but we are here to help and coach the ones who want this and want to change their lives. So imagine that you've got a child's toy box full of shapes, and let's say your Arbonne business is full of circle shapes. You will find some people that are circles to fit beautifully into those holes, and you're going to find stars and squares and triangles, and they're not going to be a fit, and that's okay. There's nothing wrong with people that are other shapes. It's just that Arbonne isn't a fit for them. So let's address the self-image of our new consultants who we sponsor. Every single person, you and I included, has a self-image photograph of ourselves in our head. Now, that self-image photograph of us tells us who we are as a person, what we like, what we don't like, what happens in our life, the things that we attract, the things that we don't attract in our life. Our self-image photograph of ourselves is the complete reason why our lives are the way our lives are. So think of a computer that's been programmed to command the way it is. This is like the body responding to what our self-image photograph of ourselves says who we are in our head. And our body and reactions are robotic to respond to make sure that we adhere to the self-image photograph of who it says that we are. So in 2014, just as I was starting my own business with Arbonne International, my self-image photograph of me said that I was a loving mum and wife. I was shy. I hated public speaking. I had no confidence. I wasn't pretty. I was an embarrassment to the people around me. I wasn't good at anything. I couldn't cook. Being in debt every month was absolutely me. I'm no fun. I have depression and anxiety. I'm tired all of the time. I couldn't do anything to provide for my family. I was ashamed to even be me. So I need to hide as much as possible so people didn't have to suffer me being around them. So as you can see, my self-image photograph was not living the dream. So my outside world was a total reflection of what my self-image photograph said Dani Wells is. My body and actions got to work like a robot to make sure my life was exactly how my self-image photograph of myself said I was and who I was. And most of us developed that from our childhood. So I just thought for fun, there's a picture of me as a child. So I started my Arbonne business because I'd had enough. I had totally and utterly had enough. The pain of changing was worth more to me than the pain of staying the same. So characteristics of your new independent consultant self-image of themselves is all different. So everybody's characteristics are different. And you need to find out what their self-image photograph says that they are. Obviously, you can't just ask because they won't know what you're talking about. So you need to find out by being a friend, by asking questions, by chatting to them on the phone as much as possible while you get to know them and they get to know you. By meeting up with them if they're local enough to get to know them, and you'll soon piece together what their self-image photograph says about them and who they are. And that will tell you why their life is the way it is and why they said yes to you for help. Their self-image photograph of themselves will also be their personality and characteristics, much like your self-image photograph of you is your character traits. Are you patient, kind, friendly, open-minded, fun, shy, in debt, in abundance of money, unhealthy, tired, full of energy, welcoming, determined, passionate, driven? Whatever your character traits are, they come from your self-image photograph of yourself in your head. And that commands your body like a robot to act accordingly to what the photo of you says that you are. So it would seem really easy to say, okay, it makes sense. I am who I am because of my self-image photograph of me. And my new consultants are who they are because of their self-image photograph of them. Great, so let's change it. The thing is, it isn't as easy as to just say, let's change it. If your new consultant is shy and has no confidence, by declaring they now have confidence and are now not shy, even if they declare it too, it will be temporary. I want you to think about house thermostat. If the thermostat is set to 25 degrees, it will make sure the house is always 25 degrees. So if someone opens the back door and a ton of cold rushes in and the house temperature drops to 15 degrees, the thermostat will pick up on that and realise it needs to pull it back to the set self-image photograph it had of itself, 25 degrees. So it will pour in more heat to bring the room temperature back up. Now let's say someone closes the door and the room ends up being 35 degrees. So it's now too hot. The thermostat will hold back on the heat to bring the temperature back to its self-image photograph of 25 degrees where it was set to be. The room is a reflection of what the thermostat was set to always bring the room back to. No matter what temporarily happens, it always goes back to the set temperature. This is the same for people trying to manage their weight. If the self-image photograph tells them they're a size 14 and they starve themselves to drop to a size 10, it'll be temporary because you always go back to the self-image photograph. If they put on weight, it'll be temporary. You always go back to the self-image photograph you have of yourself. Your body is a robot and acts to the commands of the self-image photograph you have of yourself. Money is the same. Whatever your bank balance says most of the time, this is unfortunately for some your self-image photograph. Mine was to max out my overdraft, so mine was £1,000. Was, I hate to say, my self-image photograph of who Dani Wells is. No matter what money comes in to someone, if they win the lottery or inherit a lot of money, their body and actions will act like a robot to get them to their self-image photograph. If that means being in debt, you'll see them gradually get rid of their money and be back to the self-image photograph of them and be back in debt. Our self-image photograph of ourselves is our blueprint. If someone showed an architect this blueprint of a house, they could build it exactly to the vision of the blueprint. It would be identical. If someone took from our brain our self-image photograph instructions of who we are, they could clone us to a T. Our money blueprint, our relationship with food, our fears, worries, doubts, our personality, warts and all. They could clone us with our self-image photograph and make an identical replica of us. Okay, so what should we do about it? There are 3 things that you need to do when focusing on this area. Number 1, understand what your new consultant's self-image photograph of them says about them. Or if you're doing it for yourself, write down what your self-image photograph says about you. Number 2, work out what they want from life. What would their ideal life look like? And work out what their self-image photograph of themselves would have to say about them to be that person to achieve the life that they want. If this is about you, then work out what you want and what program from your self-image photo blueprint would have to say you are, to direct your body to take the robotic instructions and actions to do what you need to have the life that you want to have. And then number 3, learn how to move from the old self-image photograph of you to the new self-image photograph of you that you want. The old instructions of who Dani Wells is to the new blueprint instructions of who Dani Wells is. Or for your new consultant, help them understand how to move from that old self-image photograph of who they are to who they want to be to have the life that they want to have. So how do we move from the old self-image photograph to the new self-image photograph? From their old programming for their blueprint to a new blueprint of who they are? And the answer is personal growth. Okay, so that is moving from the old image to the new image. So helping your new consultants to do this is going to take time, and you need to commit to being their coach, their cheerleader, to help them along their way. When someone hires a coach to help them run a marathon, they encourage them, they give them feedback that puts them in the right direction, baby steps and mini tasks, and build their beliefs that they can move forward. So here are some ways to help your new consultant move from their old self-image photograph to the new self-image. So help find out what they want, do a vision board together and chat through it and really listen to what they want in life. If they want to be a public speaker and they feel they have no confidence, this is a key area you can make a mental note of to work on with them, helping them to learn how to believe they are in abundance of confidence and help them grow towards their goal. Set them baby tasks to help this area by asking them to record a video with you to explain the benefits of a product. Next, regularly be there for your new consultants. Phone them, meet up with them if you can, get to know them as friends, encourage them, cheer them on, applaud their baby steps. Even doing their first one-to-one alone is a great chance to post on the team page how proud you are. It will not be easy for your new consultants to move from their old self-image to the new self-image, and without a coach and a guide, most people give up. It's so much hard work, but with a mentor there, regularly cheering them on, encouraging them, it makes it easier to get back up after every fall. 3, send an Iron Arb on a date in their early days to build their belief that anyone from any circumstance with the right passion and determination can succeed in this business. Top tip number 4, encourage them to write affirmations, or if that's too new for them, then goals. They can read every day to themselves. Start off small. It's better to do a little every day than to have a lot to do and do it sporadically. Voice note to them their affirmation or their goal. Number 5, tell them stories about light bulb moments that you've had from books to encourage them to read. Most people in their early days of starting an Arbonne business do not understand the benefit of reading a personal growth book, but they will listen to someone who is where they want to be. Share their top tips. So if they are inspired by you or someone in your upline or someone else in Arbonne, find out that person's top tips to share with your new consultant, and I guarantee reading will be one of those top tips. Number 6, share with them that successful people watched and listened to The Secret by Rhonda Byrne 100 times on their journey to success, and that you and them should get on a mission to see if you can end up reciting the things that are said on it. Number 7, help them to remove words like can't, try, struggle from their vocabulary. Help them realize there is no one better for them to be them and be their own best brand to help provide solutions for people who are looking for something more. to not feel the need to convince anyone they need or want something they do not. Your business builder, like us, are only of service to people who want something that we can help with. And that isn't every person on the planet, but it is a lot. So they need to keep meeting new people, keep improving on their skills, and keep working on their own self-image of themselves to be the best Arbonne consultant there is. A consultant who learns daily, improves on their skill set, and always gets back up after every knockdown. Number 8, help them understand that to have their business turn over a month what they plan to, they'll have to book in double the activity to allow for life to happen as it does, and expect half the appointments will cancel. I encourage my consultants to book so much that they are actually relieved when someone cancels. Number 9, have fun with your business builders. The people you mentor, coach, and support. This is a volunteer army. So make sure there are opportunities for people to have fun, to recharge and bounce innovative, creative ideas around. Allow them the space to be important. Tell them they're important. Tell them when they do things that are great for making some progress that day. And finally, number 10, encourage them to see that having a business turnover 2,500 QV a month is only a stepping stone to nation, and the real magic is sharing all of this with many others to keep growing the team and helping other people all of the way to nation. Do not let someone stop at a promotion to district and fall into maintenance mindset. District is a baby step to area, region, and nation, and then helping 30 other people become nations. It will take time. Like exercise or learning a new language, it will take time to happen. It won't happen overnight. So keep going with them to help them. There will be down days. Tell them to expect, like any business, Arbonne is no different. Some days will be tough and some days will be amazing, but you are there to share in the highs and the lows with them. Give them a space to share with you their lower moments, and then encourage them to tell you how they think they can move past each hurdle as it comes up. These are my top book recommendations for this topic in mind, for moving from the old self-image to the new self-image. So T. Harv Eker, Millionaire Mind, The Secret by Rhonda Byrne, Neuroplasticity by Shad Helmstetter, and Psycho-Cybernetics by Maxwell Maltz. So to close, here's a picture of my old self-image of me, and this is my new self-image of me, and I'm still working on it daily. So I want you can decide right now, tomorrow or next week, next month or next year, to let this time pass and do not do this. Not address your own self-image of yourself, or help your new business builders with their self-image of themselves. To not accept this information, but know that all successful people have addressed their self-image of themselves and worked on it with personal growth. So if the penny drops in a year's time that actually you do have to do personal growth personally to change your outer world, and teach your team this as well, you'll have wasted all of that time from hearing this today to the day the penny drops for you. Just accept that it is what makes people's lives change. Don't search for a shiny penny and a quick answer and a temporary solution. This is it. Losing weight isn't about dieting, it's about changing the self-image first. You will yo-yo with working on anything in your outside world before working on your self-image. If someone told me that every successful person without fail ate purple grapes, I wouldn't deny it, question it, or look to challenge the concept by eating green grapes. I would accept it and eat the purple grapes. Don't deny the fact or question that every single successful person does personal growth. Just accept it, get involved, and enjoy watching your personally sponsored consultants that you introduce and help every month move to district managers and beyond. Thank you very much, everybody.